Think back to when you were a child. And on the count of 3, yell out what you wanted to be when you grew up. All right, everybody. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What was yours? Gymnast. What was yours?
TV commercial director.
Nice. What was yours? Oh, me? I wanted to be a heart surgeon / architect / painter / ninja. What? That's a thing. Like, think about it. I would design and build a hospital where I work, saving lives by day while assassinating them by night. Only the bad guys, obviously. Okay, fine, mostly. Then use the blood of those I've slain to paint beautiful landscapes on my porch every Sunday. Okay, that's disturbing, but it's totally doable. And I kept believing that until Maya, a 2nd grader, punched me in my 3rd grade stomach, and I let out such a loud scream I realized I would make the most horrible ninja ever, but that's okay, because I could still be a heart surgeon / architect / painter. And I kept believing that until Mrs. Mercutio, my high school counselor, told me my grades were as low as my parents' income, so I better think of something else besides med school. To this day, I wonder if she's still there, flicking off the light switch inside our children to keep them from being brilliant, but that's okay, because I could still be an architect / painter. And I kept believing that until my father, who's an architect, said it's really hard to find a job as an architect. Wait, no. Until they said artists will always starve. Wait, no. Until be realistic, until find stability, until I had no slashes left to keep tabs of all of my dreams. As children, we tied towels around our necks and flew off the coffee table, pointing to the spot where we needed to land to break our record. We drew pictures of ourselves, the astronaut / teachers, the ballet dancers / rock stars. I kept mine at the bottom of my drawer for safekeeping, only to find them last week, hidden beneath mortgage papers and credit card statements, and the work badge I used to enter the building of a job I never wanted. How much further was I willing to bury who I was meant to become just to live a life that's steady? How long have I managed to muffle those voices who tried to tell me steady is just the word we like to use anytime someone asks, how's your life? And we're too ashamed to give the actual answer. In 2006, my doctor looked me in the eyes and told me I had testicular cancer, to which I replied, yay, sounds like a ball. He didn't laugh. Instead, he says, you understand after we remove one testicle, you'll only have one testicle left. And I said, okay, then I'll change my name to One Hung Lo, because I'm Asian. Still nothing. Instead, he says, it might be difficult to have children after this. You might want to consider having your sperm frozen before the surgery. And I said, great. I will never look at frozen yogurt the same way ever again. He didn't think any of my jokes were funny. But how could you not find that funny? You're talking about me, the guy who once had ambitions of doing big things and is now teaching telemarketing to students and retired bankers. The guy who was taught being a man meant being fully equipped, and now you want to come snip, snip, and separate the Wonder Twins? The guy who will later tell his friends, and they'll respond by texting him a picture of a wonton saying, hey, don't worry, we found you a replacement. The guy who's already so skinny that those automatic doors at the grocery store can't detect me, and have to wave my arms and jump like a madman until it opens. And now you're saying I may have to go through chemo, which will make me skinnier than I already am. Damn, how is that not hilarious? Yeah, you might not find that funny, Doc, but I can guarantee you that whoever's piloting my fate decided to raid the minibar, lock the cockpit doors, and is hysterically pissing their pants by now. Have you ever wondered why maniacal laughter is never included in the stages of grief? Maybe because it doesn't last that long. Maybe it's just the parentheses, nestled between denial and anger, hold the grin between my clenched teeth, long enough to get the hell out of his office so I can cry on the shoulders of my car seat. How did I get here? I've never been one to go rogue and write my life past the margins. I once made billboards of my milestones and staggered them along my road to success, and now I'm wondering at what point did I lose the concrete beneath my steps. Maybe it's when my parents took that first flying exit out of their marriage. Maybe it's when I took that detour out of college, thinking there had to be a faster way, only to find myself going in circles until the student loan light started blinking. Maybe I got tired of running on empty. Maybe it's why I took that desk job that promised me my own corner office. Maybe I couldn't tell if it was the tie or the slow death strangling my neck, working long hours paying for a degree I never got. Maybe that's what led to this. Laying on the hospital bed, my eyes towards the God I was told was a God of promise, asking, are you laughing yet? Do you not see this? The heavy-handed nurse pushing the needle in and out of my skin, failing to find a vein for the IV. The machine's beeping like an SOS distress signal, like maybe this is it for me. The rock bottom ending spent from a life spent falling. How funny that the last words I'll ever hear is a doctor saying he'll do his best to make the scar as minimal as possible, as if my prayers resided on that. I don't remember anything after. I just remember the fade to black. But I do remember this. Just before the darkness engulfed me like a confession booth, just before the anesthesia grabbed me by the veins to drag me to my sleep, I heard a voice say, "Don't you see? This is your out." Because how can you ask to be molded into the person you're meant to be and then question how it's being done now? And when I woke up, I found myself here, standing on this stage, performing a poem where I get to say I'm now 15 years cancer-free. I've got a sexy battle scar slash beneath my belly. Oh, and remember what they said about me not being able to have children? Well, I should also mention I now have a son much more perfect than any poem that can ever come from me. My son who hides fruit snacks in the crevices of the couch and eats them again 2 days later. My son who has this weird thing about placing stickers over his nipples. My son who gets to pick out a book for us to read before he goes to bed and eventually figured out that the longer the book, the longer he gets to stay up. No, I will not read you the entire Twilight trilogy. Now, put that back in mommy's drawer before you ruin it. My son who... Actually, wait, stop the music for a sec. So, my son's finally potty trained, right? And the other day, this dude was on the toilet, like, doing his business, right? And when he finished, I kid you not, this kid yells out, "Alexa, I'm done!" I'm like, no, dude, Alexa doesn't do that. My son, who manages to leave Legos on the floor in the exact same spot I'll be walking in the middle of the night, so when the top of those Antichrist toys meets the bottom of my holy foot, I have to hold my mouth to silence the screams, because if I wake him, he won't go back to sleep for the rest of my life. If you think I'm overreacting, let me ask you, have you ever stepped barefoot on Legos? Trust me, it hurts a lot more than having a testicle removed. But I still let him have them, because every time we put a new Lego set together, he immediately takes it apart and rearranges all the pieces, and when I tell him that's not how it looks in the picture, he responds by saying, "It's okay, this way is better." Sometimes fate has a way of dismantling our lives to tell us it's okay, this way is better. May we all be rearranged and rebuilt like that. May the billboards of our plans be shredded by the wind. So I'll ask you again. Think back to when you were a child and the answer you gave when someone asked what you wanted to be when you grew up. Think of how quick that answer came, held together by slashes before the world tried tearing them apart. Yeah, we may no longer want what we wanted back then, but it doesn't mean our hearts are meant to settle for something we don't want now, because somewhere you're 6 years old, still filling in the blanks with all the things you've ever wanted to be. You that could be firefighter slash veterinarian. You that could be superhero slash fashion designer. You that could be master chef slash PlayStation gold medalist. You, the wide-eyed wanderers with your gaze towards the horizon. You with the impossible mountains to climb. Do it for the gram. Bring your slash back. Place in between everything that makes up who you are, whoever that might be. Claim the amazing you've become and drop all that which no longer fits you. Me, I am Asia Sampson, writer slash performer slash cancer survivor slash husband slash father slash professional napper. No, I never became an architect, but I found much more joy in building people up. No, I never became a heart surgeon, but I try to write poems that cut through the chest and get to what's broken. And no, I never became a ninja. Actually, that's not true. I'm totally a ninja. I'm like the most awesome ninja, fighting my best fight when the darkness comes. So tell the world to keep an eye out, because somewhere I'll be lurking, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and when I do, I promise you will never see me coming.